Despite the challenges we faced on the Shakwa River thus far, we were rewarded with unexpected treasures as we continued our efforts to get to Sandy's Lake. Well, it's kind of surprising getting out of the rocks and thick in vegetation here. Maybe that's a good sign. Or maybe not. Hit you in the leg?
Yeah, no puncture there.
Okay.
My tetanus is up to date.
Yeah, good. I get another artifact from the logging era. Gotta be careful. Bill just got a spike in his leg. Luckily, it didn't puncture him, but you can see they're all over the place. You don't want to fall here. See that board's there? There's a nice drop here. Yeah? What kind of water? Get slippery down here. Oh. Section with two huge boulders, just trying to find a way through.
Easy once you get there.
What's that? Whoa, whoa.
You alright? Yeah.
You okay there, Bill?
Yeah.
What may be clearly evident is that all of us were falling due to the rugged terrain and unstable footing at many points along this stretch. My time would come as well. So we just came out of there and we're just at the junction, and what do we got? Water.
First time for a passionate paddler.
Hey, let's not get too optimistic. We still got the rest of the creek to go down. I did something to my finger. I just portaged to the river, and I can't straighten my finger out. You can see here. It doesn't seem to hurt, but I can't straighten it out. If I do that, it's fine. But I must have did something. I fell on the portage. Well, it's not even a portage, and I don't know what I did. I must have, maybe I tore a ligament. I don't know. This is not good. Oh well, there's nothing I can do. We still need to get going, but it does worry me. I heard a vehicle just 2 seconds ago. So there must be a road nearby.
Yeah, that's logging room.
Yeah. So we're just at the junction. We finished the portage. And look at all this water we found. So it begs the question whether going the long way would have been better, because we might have found water sooner. I'm not sure, but we're paddling now. So hopefully this creek goes right down to Sandy. We're hoping. It was certainly nice to be paddling again, especially after the dry stretch we had to slog through. But despite being thrilled with all the water, something just didn't seem right, as you will soon hear from me. This almost seems flooded. I wonder if there's a beaver dam downstream. And wouldn't you know it, another beaver dam. You can clearly tell by the angle of the canoe and the fact it disappears below it, it was a sizable dam. Our luck, unfortunately, didn't last very long. And as you may surmise, we were back to walking. Even though there were stretches of paddleable water in between, it almost seemed like more work in the end. Okay, so it's 6:30. There's supposed to be another creek coming in, so hopefully it will add some volume to the river. But occasionally there's some deep sections like here. So, but it is certainly opening up in the distance over there. So we are at least this part has water, because once we got down off the elevation, we were wondering if there was going to be water here, and thankfully there is. So we're moving a lot faster, at least in this part, and it's not as hard as we thought it was going to be.
Balancing on a log here.
Most times, our impasse would be due to the lack of water, but sometimes it was deep and blocked by vegetation. It's pretty deep there, eh?
On the nuts. What's that? It's all on the nuts.
He's leaving you. That's like a hurdle. You got that one? Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we're just at the junction. Now we're going to Tea Lake, and Bill was actually, he called it. He's pretty smart. So Shakwa continues down this way and eventually feeds into the Agnes River. It flows down. Now we're going into Teepee Lake, which Teepee actually is a higher elevation and flows down. So we are actually now going, as you see, upstream, where the current's going down this way. So we've got about 400 meters before we reach Tea Lake. So hopefully it doesn't get too shallow, but now we won't be paddling. We'll definitely be walking for sure. It's narrow too. Those guys are way ahead over there. I'm just stuffing a Cliff Bar down my throat because I'm hungry. It's almost like 7 o'clock. So need to keep the energy up. Ooh, mucky. And stinky. Here's my Double D partner. He's a trooper. Actually, everybody is. I think kudos to Bill. He's DQ guides a lot, and so he likes to check into people's energy level. And when we had our lunch, Bill was pretty much at 5 in terms of energy level from 10. So we're trying to help him out when we can, but like I said, whoa, we're about yeah, it's deep. Yeah, 400 meters or less to T Lake, so the end is there. We're almost there. He stepped in some thick mud and he almost lost his shoe. All right.
I want to pull my foot out and then go look for it, because then I'll maybe, you never know.
You might not recover it. Yeah. It's getting pretty tight. What the hell is it?
Yeah, it's a barrel.
It's a barrel. Probably floated in from the lake. That's weird. So we're heading over to T Lake and we're deep in this little creek. You can just see their heads above the grass. There they go. At this point, we decided to switch to using ropes to pull the canoe from the front, since it was getting more challenging to walk the creek bed. This technique worked great through this section, as it still allowed us to maneuver the canoe from the front, as seen here. We're literally meters from the lake. See the opening there? That's sandy. We just got to do some lift over some rocks and we're there. And it's almost 7:30. Last lift over. Here we go. We made it! Sandy Lake, we love you.
Bet you all that chili would have been eaten tonight.
Yeah. How many hours was it, David? DQ?
Well, we started at 9:30 to 7:30.
We actually started at 10. Yeah. 9.5 hours we're on Sandy. We made it. That was brutal. But we made it. Now we're gonna look for a campsite and lick our wounds. Unfortunately, our search for a campsite in the waning light yielded nothing, and we ended up pulling up to a dock by the logging road in desperation. What we found was an outfitter located next to the road that was closed, but had ample space for us to set up our tents. Not what we had hoped for, but at that point we had little choice, so camp by the logging road it was. So we're just on Sandy. We knew that there was a building here, and we just came across it. It's obviously being maintained. It's in good shape.
Well, yeah, if it's the weekend,
Yeah.
nobody's here, I'd say it's pretty.
So we're just trying to figure out what to do because we got to look for a campsite soon, or else this is the other option. We've heard vehicles drive by here several times when we were over coming down into Sandy. So there's certainly looks like a hunt camp.
Yeah, there's nothing in there that's like ready to go. Everything's unplugged. There's nothing in it.
Yeah.
It's like a hunt camp for sure.
Agnes River Outfitter, George and Joyce. Okay. Yep. So
Yes.
we're having spaghetti and we're having opera at the same time. So check our spaghetti out.
Should be ready.
There you go.
You get yours and then I'll go.
There's a huge
gonna
portion of
probably-
spaghetti here. We got the Bluetooth speaker going with opera, and we got wine. And cheese. As you can imagine, after the hearty, well-deserved meal, we crashed soon after. We needed all the rest we could get, because the next day promised to be worse. So good morning. It is probably around 9 o'clock, I think. We're all a little bit sore and from yesterday's travel, although there's no reprieve in sight. Today is the harder day, supposedly, because we're going uphill. And of course, even if we're following a creek, there's no way we're going to be paddling upstream, up an incline. So today promised to be a lot of slogging, probably in the bush more so than paddling. So we've got lovely Sandy Lake here behind me, right over there. And as you know, we camped right here this is the Agnes River Outfitters. They're building over there, and no one was here. So we employed their flat surfaces right by this logging road, and camped here and used their picnic table, which was great considering last night, we were pretty exhausted, and it was nice to have a flat spot and picnic table to eat supper from. So, but this road is fairly active. I think there might be camps or even cottages along here at some point, because twice there was vehicles that drove by last night when we were having supper. But well, you know what, it was probably not the best campsite, but it did certainly work under the circumstances. We're going to be heading out pretty soon. It looks like it's going to be another hot and muggy day. It's supposed to be pretty oppressive, I guess, with the humidity, and the bugs are already out. Like the black flies are already kind of swarming us, and the no-seams are out too. So it's another another day on a TPP. So I'm going to take you down to the docks. We had the pleasure of paddling in to the dock here, and here is Sandy Lake. We were hoping to pull up into a nice sandy beach and set up camp, but that's not exactly what was here. It's pretty much covered by alder bushes all around the shoreline, but that's okay. Okay, so I should go back and finish packing up, and the guys haven't killed me yet. They've been pretty good. They've been like troopers, getting through the hard parts of the day, and just you really have to reach deep, because as the day gets longer and longer, and you run out of energy. You just gotta keep drinking and eating and just keep pushing on. It was a long day, and I don't know what today's gonna be like, but the only way to find out is start the day. So how you boys feeling this morning? Yeah. Bill, all that muscle.
What? Where? Between my ears?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
I
I had just discovered malfunction. I didn't have the lid of my gas closed quite
Shoot.
all.
Just like that.
Just like that. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I
got-
just dragged some stuff out of my pack. It's
Yikes.
yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's that weird lock one.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
Okay.
but other than that, we survived yesterday.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that Mr. Lee is just softening us up for today, and then everything will be fine for tomorrow. But
What'd you call me?
Passionate Punisher.
There we go.
And you tenderized us yesterday, but today you're gonna put us on a grill.
Today's a grill day.
Yeah. We're gonna get grilled.
or is it the marination day?
Marination. Sean had a little bit of a bad luck, right, with your pack and your garbage bag arrangement.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. What happened?
Just my sleeping bag got wet.
Yeah.
Just it leaked through.
Yeah.
A little more water in the canoe from in and out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
So it soaked through my little setup I have for this last trip.
Yep.
And then anyway, it got a little bit wet, but to my delight, my sleeping bag dried real quick, and it was actually, you could wring it out, the water. And
wow, it was that wet, eh?
yeah, and it was just literally centralized in one spot.
Right.
Basically at the middle of my back, right on the spine is where I guess it would have been, so the worst spot. And
Yeah.
anyway, it's before we went to bed, I hung it out. It was completely dry.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that you had synthetic, because
Yeah.
if you had down, you might be you might be in trouble. But good.
Just happy, yeah.
So it's a new bag, right? You were saying it was a new bag for this trip.
New bag, Mountain Hardware.
Okay.
Happy with it. It's keeping me nice and toasty.
Good.
So it's and it's roomy enough for me as well.
Yeah.
I tried a few at the store, and that one seemed to work the best for me.
Good. I guess the next time we're gonna work on the pack, right? This garbage bag arrangement does work, but garbage bag, unless it's thick, it tends to rip easily, and that's probably what happened, right? So
Yeah.
next time you'll be getting that Cabela waterproof pack, right?
Yeah, the 110 or 115 liter one.
Nice.
Just so I can store all my stuff and just have one pack, so I'm nice and swift. So
Yeah.
my punishment becomes less and less.
He's
The
learning.
passionate one.
He's learning. Awesome. We were now headed to the southwest corner of Sandy's Lake, looking for the outlet of a creek that would lead us up to a series of ponds. Yeah. So, what is the GPS show? Yeah, it shows it just down a bit. So we are just at the creek to head uphill, and this is what we're looking at. Not much, but that's what the GPS says, and that's what we're gonna go with. So wish us luck. How's it look?
Get over there for more water in another channel.
Okay. Yay!
I'd want to just do my diligence and just look if there is, to be honest.
Let's see if there's more.
Yeah, just to see.
Okay.
More.
All right. Let's go. So we've got a little beaver dam here, and this is what we're looking forward to. Let's see. Just the start. Yeah. So we ran out of water. Well, it narrowed considerably already. We haven't even gone far. You can see the lake right behind us. And so we're gonna see if it's better to drag it over land than follow this creek, because this is what the creek looks like. There's nothing here. But it could open up there. We just have to go further and see. Yeah, there's holes. How's it look?
It's a beaver dam, like little beaver dam here.
Yeah. I forgot to give a progress report about my finger. I still don't know what's up with it. If you look at it, it's still crooked. I can't straighten it out. And I really think I think a ligament might have detached or something, because even though I make the effort to straighten it out, it won't straighten out and just stays crooked. And it's not giving me any pain for the most part until I want to use it to twist something or grab something, and then I do feel some kind of odd sensation. But yeah, it is disconcerting, and I don't know what it is, so I'll be anxious to get home and get it checked out and see what's going on, because like I said, I don't even know when it happened. So it should be interesting today. I'm going to try not to strain it again, but again, I don't even know what caused it in the first place. So anyhow, we pulled out of that creek just because there's some blowdowns, and DQ was just scouting further to the left of it, and we're gonna probably dryland drag it because it'll be easier than having to cut through the bush and drag through the creek. We're just waiting for the guys. Okay, there he is. Gotta go.
After DQ scouted an easier way through, the four of us tag teamed and dryland dragged the canoes all the way to the edge of the forest. As hard as it seemed, it was much easier than having to drag along the shallow creek with logs across it.
Yeah, we could go get ours.
Yeah. Clear up some. Okay.
That was
Save energy.
that went through quick.
Boys, I think we got a trail. So if you look beyond Bill there's a beaver dam and there's the marsh. And I guess that would be the first one. I don't have my GPS, but is that the first one, guys?
That's the first one.
Okay.
Pretty big.
So we're just making a little bit of a log, not log, yeah, well, I guess a log walkway. So we want to get our feet wet. We're bronies. But if you look back, we did
You're gonna go look at it
a
now.
beautiful trail. Just it follows up there and goes right up along the hill and goes right back down. So normally, if we hadn't done that, we would have come through this opening here, and that's where the creek flows into this marsh here. So we made it a lot easier by going this route and cutting our way through the forest. And of course, it is easier than hauling the canoe. So, and you know what? And if anyone wants to follow, just ask us. We'll give you the GPS tracks. So that's first portage done from Sandy Lake, and we are on the first pond. As you can see here, you can see Bill and Sean over there, and we're gonna head up over that way. But Brad had some access to some kind of map, ortho map or something, and when he looked at it, I guess it's more kind of like recent sat images. It didn't show any water in these three marshes, and well, we've got water here, so it's a good thing. It's nice and breezy too, keep the black flies away. But we're just gonna take a snack here, get some water, and then we'll tackle the next section. So far it's looking good. here's a view of this beautiful dry lake. Exhausting, eh?
Very. Very.
Yeah. The climb on this is insane. We got up quite a ways. I'm just dripping sweat all over my face.